Hello my beauties and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I know that song is not Victorian, but the phonograph is certainly Victorian. Make certain to hit the like and subscribe button and ring that notification bell to receive updates on videos like this and many others. So, I cover a lot of Victorian etiquette, a lot of Victorian culture. Well, today we are going to be discussing Victorian foul smells. To be truthful, the Victorians smelled, and it wasn't entirely good. So in those days, most people didn't have plumbing. In fact, plumbing was not commonplace until the 20th century. So at the end of the 19th century, people started getting plumbing, but it was still not commonplace. Now, I will tell you, though, that they did have toilets indoors in the early Victorian era. However, those toilets had no water that ran to them, and the sewage ran into the basement. It was a cesspool. And then, of course, it would stink, and you would have to get someone to clean it out. And they only cleaned it out at night because they didn't want the neighbors to see them. It was a dirty job. And then these people would take this manure and they would sell it to farmers who needed it to fertilize their fields. But that wasn't the only thing that made Victorians stink. Not only did they not take baths and they didn't have great plumbing, but they were obsessed over smells. They were obsessed. And most Victorians thought that if you smelled bad, you had disease. So how do you combat bad smells? Well, you would put on a little oil, or you could wash your hair in some egg whites and then rinse it out with a bowl of water. I know that smells really great in July, doesn't it? Oh yes, real great. Also, the problem was they washed their clothes in well, how would you wash your clothes? Would you go to the laundromat, or would you go to the washer and dryer? Would you put in a little detergent, a little Tide maybe? Yeah, but not if this were 1870, you wouldn't. In fact, you would be washing your clothes in urine, because the ammonia broke down the stains, but you were washing your clothing in ammonia and urine. So, didn't really smell all too great, but you know, as far as that goes, fine. Okay, you've got smelly hair, you've got a smelly body, you've got smelly septic tanks. So what else could smell? Oh, I know, your teeth. You didn't want to have bad breath. You wanted to have clean teeth. How would you clean your teeth? You would go get a toothbrush. Well, you would get a toothbrush if you were very, very wealthy, and then you would share that toothbrush with all of your family because they were expensive. Toothbrushes were made of, the handle was wood and the bristles were really stiff. Now, if you could not afford a toothbrush, they had a simple little trick of just eating celery to clean your teeth. It was what they thought, that it would brush your teeth with celery. It didn't really work. You can't brush your teeth with celery. I mean, you could, but it won't fight gingivitis or tooth decay. So don't brush your teeth with celery. So the Victorians were strict in their rules. They had a lot of obligations, and they had a dress code, and there were things that you had to do. But smelling was one of the things. So that's why oftentimes you have the May brides, because they would have their flowers, and that would mask the odoriferous smell of these lovely stinking ladies. Speaking of stinking, the way that a lady would go to the bathroom, she's got bustles, and she's got corsets, and she's got layers and layers of dresses. How does she go? Between the slot in her pantaloons. And she would just hover over the pot and let it fly. So, you know, that had to smell really, not so pleasant. But with that, my beauties, stick around for more about the Gentleman Psychic. Make certain to like and subscribe. We have many more videos coming up. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.